bleeding and try to find out exactly what was wrong. We'll let you know how he went a little later in the program. Now, vets are often confronted by some quite strange critters, and I think it took Peter just a little while to warm to this next patient.
They're probably not the most...
This is Salvador. He's an axolotl, or Mexican walking fish, and he'd been looking a bit off colour.
I think he's got a fungus on his head and on the back of his spine. If you have a look in there,
little grey spot that I can just see there.
That's right. I'm a bit worried it might spread. Sometimes I get a bit worried about the state of his mind. He used to be really happy and swim around when I went to get the food and stuff, but sometimes he just sits there and I get worried that he might be depressed.
Over what period of time has he been like that?
But that's probably been for the last few months. He's been like that.
Brendan was worried Salvador was pining for a companion.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think it's good to have a friend for him?
Well, look, I don't...
I worry, that's all, that he might be a bit lonely.
Might be lonely.
Yeah.
They're probably not the most over-endowed creatures as far as intelligence goes, so on the other hand, they will hang around in groups.
Yeah.
So
he's pretty smart. I mean...
compared to...
Goldfish, I would say.
Do you smoke?
No.
No, that's good. As a general rule, smokers should be quite careful about handling wet-skinned animals because nicotine is readily absorbed through the skin and is quite a potent poison.
Is he gentle?
Yeah, he is. Sometimes when he gets frightened...
You've still got all your fingers?
That's right.
Yeah,
he does bite my fingers, but it's quite
teeth?
nice. No.
You may find, of course, that his quietness at the moment is due to it being winter.
Oh, right.
There are quite a number of these little spots on his head. That's the biggest one.
Could that be making him depressed?
It's only covering a small part of his body at this stage, but it might not help.
I wish all people loved their pets the way you love your axolotl.
Axolotls have a bad name. Everyone thinks they're boring, they sit at the bottom of the tank, but they're actually really fascinating. Clever, attractive.
For example,
Now we're drawing a fairly long arch.
For example, they compare very favourably the intelligence stakes with, say, for example, oysters.
Is that actually a growth, Peter, or just a lack of pigmentation?
It does look as if the pigment is just fading away.
Could it be that he's not getting enough light?
Well,
Fungi thrive under warmth, moisture and darkness.
and we can't do anything about the moisture because Salvador thrives under moisture as well. And they don't need it to be particularly warm, so that light is the controlling thing. Salt is a very useful cure-all for bacterial and fungal problems. You'd use about a teaspoon of salt to 5 litres of water. Now, don't use ordinary salt.
No.
Ordinary salt, table salt, contains iodine. You want purified salt.
Right.
Then you'd put him in that for about an hour. Do that every day.
Oh, right.
For several days.
Yeah, so what about introducing salt into a fresh water?
Well, obviously you don't use too much, but there are you can use it in several different concentrations. The higher the concentration, the shorter the amount of time you put the animal, the creature, into the salt. You want to keep a careful eye on it and kind of keep track and see what those things are doing. And I guess while we're here, we'll see if we can find out whether Salvador really is a Salvador or a girl.
Sally.
That's the thing. We keep calling him him. I've just never known.
Okay, there we go. Right, Salvador is definitely a boy.
There we go. There's little bulges. Do you see little bulges under his back
I saw
legs?
the bulges.
Okay.
Definitely.
I've been right all these years.
Yeah.
Fine young man.
He is a fine young man. I have to say, Brendan, that Salvador has considerably improved my opinion of axolotls.
Great.
Come on then, Salvador, back in you get.
He's looking quite happy now. Quite perky.